Hello, sports fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 12 in the league where they play. For pay! And let's get right to it. Coming off another great week of picking games, I am on absolute fire. I can do no wrong right now. Been on fire for about a month. I think I was 17-4 last week. Only lost with the Raider game over. I lost a couple ways with the Chiefs, and I did lose with the Miami-Tampa Bay game. Other than that, I got everything right. I did change the Buffalo Charger pick. I went the other way. I ended up taking the Chargers once Phillip Rivers was cleared and Buffalo made that ridiculous quarterback change going from Taylor to Peterman. Once that happened, I jumped right off Buffalo, went right over to the Charger side, paid off big for me. So I had another spectacular week of picking games. Like I said, I only lost about 4 games, lost the one over and under, lost the one with Miami, Tampa, and I lost a couple ways with the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs in a teaser with Green Bay, lost that way. Had the Chiefs straight up, lost as well. We'll get to the Chiefs in a second. But anyway, let's get right to NFL week number 12. Let's go to Washington. This is the night game on Thanksgiving Day, where the Washington Redskins are -7 against the New York Giants. Washington 4-6, lost a heartbreaker in New Orleans. They're up 15 points with a few minutes to go. Let the game slip away. They lose in overtime. It's been that kind of year for Washington. Can't catch a break. I mean, they got all sorts of injuries. They have talent, Washington. It's just gone all wrong for them so far this year. New York Giants 2-8, beat Kansas City. Listen, give them credit. They showed life. They battled in the windy Meadowlands. They found a way to win the game. I've been all over the Giants. I've been all over the coach. They showed no life for much of this year. Give them credit for showing up. Kansas City, this was an absolutely awful loss for them. I'll get to them later, but that was an atrocious loss by the Kansas City Chiefs. This game, Washington 7 over the Giants. I'm going to move the line down to 1 and take Washington. The Giants are going to have to show me that they can do it back-to-back. They're going to have to show me that they can do this on the road now, on a short week. And I know Washington has been, not good this year. To me, they're still better than the Giants. The Giants still, to me, are not a good team. That was more about the Chiefs than the Giants last week. That was an awful loss by the Chiefs. But I got to go with Washington here. I got to see the Giants do this back-to-back weeks before I'm convinced. Washington in a teaser. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go to the jungle in Cincinnati, where the Cincinnati Bengals are -9 against the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati up to 4-6, beat Denver. Denver, another dead carcass. What happened to the Broncos? What if they lost 6 in a row? Atrocious. Cleveland 0-10, speaking of atrocious. Lost to Jacksonville. Cleveland lifeless as usual. I mean, Cleveland, what are they in the last 2 years? Like 1-25, 1-26, something crazy like that? I mean, Cleveland, what in the world is going on here? All these high draft picks. I mean, what an absolute mess the Browns are. They just can't get out of their own way. I got to go with the Bengals here, probably in a teaser, move it to 3. Got to take the Bengals. They crushed Cleveland already this year in Cleveland. I got to think the Bengals are going to win. The Browns have showed me nothing. They can't score. Bengals have at least showed a little life. They went into Denver and won. Cincinnati's going to win this game. Give the 3 in a teaser. You want to play it straight up, that's up to you. I'm going teaser. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go to Philadelphia, where the Philadelphia Eagles are -13 against the Chicago Bears. Bears 3-7, lost a tight game to Detroit. Philadelphia up to 9-1, obliterated Dallas, just mauled Dallas. Philadelphia is one of the best teams in football right now on both sides of the ball. They're getting it done. Wentz looks like the real deal. What a tremendous job by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are having the season that the Cowboys had last year. What a great job by the Eagles. I know the spread's high at 13, but Philly's going to win. You want to take them straight up, teaser, money line. I know the money line will be ridiculous, but Philadelphia will win this game. I like the Eagles. That's pick number 3. Fly, Eagles, fly. Pick number 4, let's go up to New England, where the New England Patriots are -16 against the Miami Dolphins. Miami 4-6, lost to Tampa. Miami is done. Listen, it was a miracle they won 4 games. They really battled early in the year just to win 4 games. Now they're done. They've checked out Miami. They're just done. They're a dead carcass. Cutler's hurt. That's no loss if he's even out. Miami, I mean, they traded Jai. It's all going wrong for the Dolphins. Finn's way down this year. New England, how about them? 8-2, blew out Oakland and Mexico City. Nice performance by the Raiders, by the way. How about New England and this defense now? Remember the first month of the season, New England was giving up 30 points, 35 points every single game. They were giving up 30 points. They were giving up points like they were handing out candy. I said Belichick would figure out a way to do it. He sure has. I mean, again, New England holds the Raiders, who have a high-powered offense, to 8 points. They held Atlanta down. I mean, New England, again, finding ways to do it. You got to like New England here. There's no way I'm taking Miami. So whatever way you want to play it, you got to go with the Patriots. You got to think New England is, again, the favorite to win the Super Bowl. I know Pittsburgh is improved. I know they're more equipped to beat New England this year. But, I mean, if New England gets home field, do you think Pittsburgh's going into New England and winning the championship game? I don't. And if Pittsburgh is going to get home field, they're going to have to beat New England in the regular season. And then they're going to have to beat them again in the playoffs. So Pittsburgh may have to beat New England twice. Maybe both games in Pittsburgh. But still, you got to think right now New England is the favorite to get to the Super Bowl again. They keep doing it. Unbelievable job with the defense. I mean, it's laughable what we were saying about this defense early in the year to what they're doing now. Belichick is a genius. I like New England. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Boy, I'm down on both of these teams. Where the Kansas City Chiefs are -9 against the Buffalo Bills. Chiefs 6-4, lost to the Giants. The Chiefs have fallen apart as well. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. They're still going to win the division. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to get to the Super Bowl. If you think the Chiefs are going in back-to-back weeks to Pittsburgh and possibly New England and winning, that's not going to happen the way they're playing. They have played atrocious football. What were they, 4-0 to start the year? Chiefs were coming off a bye and a loss against a dead carcass Giant team, and the Chiefs scored 9 points. Are you kidding me? I don't want to hear about the wind. I know it was windy. I know more than anyone it was windy. I was out on the soccer field at my nephew's soccer game. I know how windy it was. The Giants found a way to win. Chiefs, awful loss by you. Andy Reid, not good. Buffalo, talk about awful. 5-5. Lost to the Chargers, got obliterated by Chargers. Made an inexplicable quarterback change during the year. Go with Peterman over Taylor. Listen, I'm not the biggest Taylor fan. He gives the Bills the best chance to win. You're going to throw Peterman into this now? 5 interceptions in the first half. Let the game completely blow up. The Buffalo coach now says, well, I'm not sure who the quarterback is this year. Are you kidding me? After what you saw last week, is there any doubt who should be the quarterback? What was Buffalo doing? You talk about a panic move at 5-4 to change quarterbacks like that? And what happened to this great Buffalo defense? They've fallen on their face. 5-5. Buffalo's going nowhere. I remember the beginning of the year, everyone would say Buffalo's an elite team. They got the best defense, since the '85 Bears. They've fallen apart. The coach has done an atrocious job. Terrible quarterback play. Terrible defense lately. Awful performance by the Bills. This game is a collection of 2 teams going in the wrong way. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to move it to 3. I think the Chiefs have enough to get through at home. If the Chiefs lost this game, you got to really wonder what's going on there in Kansas City. I got to go with the Chiefs. I think Buffalo is done, so I'll go Chiefs in the teaser -3. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6. Let's go to Atlanta, where the Atlanta Falcons are -8.5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has won 2 in a row, beat Miami. Winston out. They haven't missed him. They've won 2 in a row without him. Atlanta up to 6-4, beat Seattle, hung on and beat Seattle. Atlanta had to have that game. Atlanta is getting back into the playoff hunt. Tough division, though. They're behind Carolina and the Saints. All 3 of those teams could make the playoffs. So that was an important win by the Falcons. Listen, I got to go Falcons here at home. Again, teaser, move it down to 2.5. I don't think Tampa Bay with a backup quarterback is good enough to win in Atlanta. I'll go Atlanta. Make it a tease, 2.5. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7, let's go to Baltimore, where the Baltimore Ravens are -7 against the Houston Texans. Houston up to 4-6, beat Arizona despite all the injuries. Baltimore 5-5, shut out Green Bay. Who's the last team in a playoff spot in the AFC? It's the Baltimore Ravens. Do you believe that? The way they've played most of this year? At 5-5, they hold the last playoff spot. That is hard to believe. Give them credit, though. They're in that last playoff spot. Again, I'm going to go teaser. I'm going to move the line down to 1 and think Baltimore at home is too much for this banged-up Houston team. And I don't love Baltimore all that much, but Houston's got too many injuries. And I know they won last week. That was against Arizona, who also has a lot of injuries. Baltimore, teaser, pick number 7. Pick number 8, let's go to the Steel City in Pittsburgh, where the Pittsburgh Steelers are -14 against the Green Bay Packers. Packers down to 5-5, got shut out against Baltimore, set football back 500 years. Pittsburgh up to 8-2, beat Tennessee on Thursday Night Football. It was a close game for a while. Steelers pulled away late. Like I was saying when I was talking about New England, very interesting race, Patriots-Steelers for home field. Steelers, I think, have to have home field to have any chance of beating the Patriots. The Steelers never win up in Foxborough. Have to keep winning. That game at the end of the year against New England is going to be very important. Steelers are more equipped this year. Better defense, got the running game. They are more equipped this year to maybe knock off New England. I still think New England's the favorite. Pittsburgh getting closer, though. Pittsburgh playing well at 8-2. You got to think Pittsburgh is going to demolish Green Bay. Again, money line is going to be too high. Move it down to 8, maybe feel better. Can't take Green Bay. How could you take Green Bay? You got to either take Pittsburgh some way or it's a throwout. I'll take the Steelers there. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9, let's go to the desert in Arizona, where the Jacksonville Jaguars are -4 against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona down to 4-6, lost to Houston. All sorts of injury problems, especially at quarterback. Jacksonville up to 7-3, beat Cleveland. Defense continues to be impressive. Jacksonville's a sleeper team this year. They have that really good defense. That gives them a chance in every game. Jacksonville, nice job by them. I've picked on them a lot the last few years. I picked on Bortles. They've done a nice job this year, Jacksonville. I got to like them here. I'll go money line. I think the defense will carry the day. I mean, I'm not going to bet big money on this game. If I had to pick it, Jacksonville money line is where I would go. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10, let's go to San Francisco, where the Seattle Seahawks are -6 against the San Francisco 49ers. Niners 1-9 off a bye. Who knows about Garoppolo? Will he play this week? Seattle down to 6-4, lost to Atlanta. All sorts of injury problems on defense. I mean, you know Sherman's out. They got a bunch of guys out on defense. Seattle right now is not in a playoff spot. So this game is an absolute must for the Seahawks. I'll move it to pick them. Think the Seahawks have enough to get through here. Seahawks have to have this game. If they lose this game, they may not make the playoffs. Must win for Seattle. Got to have it. I know they got a lot of injuries, but still, they should have enough to beat San Francisco. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11, let's go out to Los Angeles. Very good game here with the LA Rams are -2.5 against the New Orleans Saints. Saints up to 8-2, beat Washington, had the big come-from-behind win. Saints, one of the big surprises of the year, doing a tremendous job. Rams down to 7-3, lost to Minnesota. I had a feeling they were due for a loss. End of the second quarter, Rams are going in for a touchdown. They fumble at the 1. They never get in the end zone after that the rest of the game. So Rams took a loss there. It's a very interesting game, a very tough game. I am going to go Rams here, coming off the loss, coming home. Saints, I think, are due for a loss. They've won 8 in a row now. They're going on the road, long trip out to L.A. I think the Saints are due for a loss. They almost took one last week. I think the Rams will be very angry at home. I like the Rams here. It's a very good game. If you like the Saints, I couldn't argue with you. I'll go Rams, slight advantage. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12, let's go to Indianapolis. A very weird game here where the Tennessee Titans are -4 against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts 3-7. We'll see if Brissett plays. He's questionable. Colts have been in a lot of games but lost most of them. Luck out for the year. Tennessee 6-4, lost to Pitt. Tennessee, you know, they're a good team. They haven't looked all that impressive this year. I mean, even the games they won the last month, they've been very close. They've been in dogfights. But they are, I think, a good team, an improving team, knocking on the door for the playoffs. It's a very weird game, this game. I think Tennessee is better, so I would take Tennessee in the money line. If I had to pick the game, I'll probably throw this game out myself. If Brissett plays, I could also be talked in Indianapolis +10. To me, I'm going to personally throw it out, but I would look Tennessee money line to eke it out. I could be talked into the Colts +10 if Brissett plays, but to me, it's a throwout. It's a very strange game. I get strange vibes with this game. But that is the way I would go with that. That is pick number 12. Pick number 13. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here, where the Carolina Panthers are -5 against the New York Jets. Panthers are off a bye, 7-3, doing a great job. Very tough division, like I mentioned before. Jets 4-6 off a bye and off that atrocious loss to Tampa Bay, where they looked abysmal. That was a bad loss for the Jets. Believe it or not, The Jets are only a game out of a playoff spot, believe it or not. I got to go Carolina money line here. I mean, I think they'll eke it out. I mean, I think the Jets will play better off a bye. I mean, but I got to like Carolina. Olsen may play this week. Carolina looks like a solid team. I'll go Carolina money line. I think Carolina's just got too much for the Jets, so I'll go Carolina there. That's pick number 13. Pick number 14 is the early Thanksgiving game. Again, a game I personally probably won't bet. Minnesota minus 2.5 at Detroit. Detroit up to 6-4, beat Chicago. Minnesota doing a fabulous job. Another surprise team. 8-2, beat the Rams. Defense playing great. I mean, they've overcome the quarterback and the running back issues. Nobody's doing a better job than Minnesota, unless you're talking about Philadelphia or the Saints. Great job by the Minnesota Vikings. If I had to bet this game, I'd move the line to 8.5 and take Detroit. I think it's a close game. Detroit won in Minnesota in a close, low-scoring game. That's the way I would play it. I would probably going to throw it out, though, but I would, if I had to pick it, move Detroit to 8.5, take them. I think it's a close game either way. That's pick number 14. Pick number 15. This is the 4:30 game, Eastern time on Thanksgiving. Dallas at home, -1 against the LA Chargers. Chargers 4-6, obliterated the Bills. Dallas 5-5, lost to Philadelphia. Dallas is going the wrong way. All the magic Dallas had last year is gone. Elliott suspended. Offensive line getting torn up. Prescott doesn't look like the same player. We know the defense isn't all that great. This is another bizarre game. This is, to me, another throwout game. If I had to pick it the way both teams are playing right now, I'd move the line to 7 and take the Chargers. But to me, I'd probably throw it out. It's a very odd game. So that's pick number 15. Pick number 16. Again, this is a throwout game, but just for the purposes of the show, I'll pick it here. Oakland at home, -5 against Denver. Oakland 4-6, lost to New England, showed no life whatsoever in Mexico. It just looked like a dead carcass. Speaking of dead carcasses, Denver 3-7, lost to Cincinnati at home. Denver's lost 6 in a row. Quarterback play is atrocious. Let's be honest, Denver 2 years ago, the defense carried Peyton Manning to that Super Bowl, and you can't rely on the defense to do it all the time. You have to have balance. You have to have something on offense. The quarterback play for the Broncos has been atrocious. This is an awful game. I'm going to throw it out. If I had to pick it, you guys need a pick for the show. I'll go Oakland in a money line to squeak through. It's an awful game. Both teams showing me absolutely nothing. So those are your picks for the Thanksgiving weekend games. As far as the college football, hard to believe we're in basically the last week of college football before you get to your conference championship games and your bowl games. We're in rivalry week already. How fast did the college football season go? I mean, wasn't it just Labor Day? Now it's Thanksgiving. The season's over. I do love this weekend. It's bittersweet because we're coming to the end of college football, but the rivalry games this weekend are to die for. If you are a college football fan, you have to love this weekend. If you can ever get to any of these games that I'm going to list, please go out and get to these games. I guarantee you will enjoy it. I want to hear from someone that's been to one of these rivalry games that had a bad time. I think it's virtually impossible. Michigan at home this week against Ohio State in the game. Tremendous game. Iron Bowl, Alabama at Auburn. Does it get any bigger than this? SEC West on the line. Auburn wins. They do make the SEC championship game. Remember, one of Auburn's losses is to Clemson, which is outside of the conference. Auburn wins this game despite having 2 losses. They get to the SEC championship game. So this is a huge game. No team is hotter than Auburn. Auburn always gives Alabama problems, especially in Auburn. This is a must-watch Iron Bowl, a great game. Wisconsin at Minnesota for the Axe. They play for the Axe. Wisconsin undefeated. I'll tell you what's going to be interesting. If Wisconsin happens to lose a game in either this game to Minnesota or next week to Ohio State in the Big Ten title game, who's going to be that 4th team in? You got to figure the winner Clemson-Miami's going to be in. You got to figure Oklahoma's going to make it there. You got to figure, the winner of this Alabama-Auburn and then the Georgia game and the SEC title game, they're going to make it. Who's going to make it if Wisconsin loses? Because Ohio State has 2 losses. If Alabama loses this week, could they still get in even though they don't play for the SEC title? It's going to be very interesting to see if Wisconsin loses, who goes. If Wisconsin wins out, they're going to make it. They are going to be one of the 4 teams. But if Wisconsin loses and Alabama loses, that makes things very interesting. Alabama could very well lose this week to Auburn. Keep an eye on that. So Wisconsin, Minnesota for the Axe. Notre Dame at Stanford. Arizona at Arizona State, you know, the duel in the desert. Clemson at South Carolina, that's a very underrated rivalry. They really get after it down there. Washington State for the Apple Cup. Civil War, Oregon State. Battle of the Sunshine State, Florida State. And then Georgia Tech. Good, clean, good old-fashioned hate, they call it. So there's a ton of rivalry games. I mean, I didn't even list them all, but there is a ton of great rivalry games in college football this week. So please tune in, especially that Iron Bowl. Alabama-Auburn is a must-watch. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. You guys have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Have a great weekend. Thanks, as always, for the support. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. Let's keep it rolling. I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Take care.